Hello children, welcome to the 9th English class. Children, I hope you are all fine. And today I am in front of you with a new topic called Upagupta, poem Upagupta. I want to read the introductory part of the poem, children. So open your textbook in that page number 23, Introduction. This poem is about the story of Buddhist monk Upagupta, a disciple of Lord Buddha and the dancing girl of Mathura. Vasavadatta. Vasavadatta was a famous and beautiful dancing girl. She was proud of her beauty, youth and her wealth. Upagupta was an ascetic and epitome of kindness, wisdom and selflessness. One dark night, while walking, Vasavadatta stumbled over the body of Upagupta, who was sleeping on the dusty ground. So, I hope introductory part is clear. What is this introductory part says as? There is a two character. One is this character, that was Upagupta. Another one is dancing girl, Vasavadatta. So, there is a contrary between these two characters. What is a contrary? Contrary in the sense, it shows how the difference between these two characters. One is, as I told, this Upagupta, who was living the life of ascetic in the sense, who has sacrificed, renounced everything of material life or the luxurious life and living simple hermit life. And it may be also considered as ascetic in the sense he was enlightened soul, isn't it children? And another side, Vasavadatta, she was a dancer, dancing girl of Mathura. She was very proud of her beauty as well as her wealth. See the combination or the contrary between these two. Where is one side, he was ignorant towards everything. He was only aware of his knowledge. Another side, who was very much proud of her wealth as well as her beauty. This contrary goes on in this poem. So, how this Upagupta enlightened the soul of Vasavadatta, the dancing girl. The girl who was very much proud of her beauty, who was enlightened by the ascetic. Because children, you see, in our life, we always in the sense, somewhere we may say that I am not proud of anything, but somewhere in our life, somewhere in the sense, hidden somewhere, that we are proud of our, either it is a knowledge or beauty or the wealth which we acquire. Isn't it children? We cannot surely say that no, I am not proud. Somewhere it is hidden in the human being, that what pride or the proud which we have inside us, that should be given up. That is the moral I can say. That is the moral of the poem which this poem carries. Isn't it children? So, move on with the poem. Listen carefully. It is very easy if you concentrate on the line, because it is they are compared the life of Upagupta as well as the life of the dancing girl. So, I'll read the poem, children. Upagupta, the disciple of the Buddha, lay asleep on the dust by the city wall of Mathura. See, where he has slept, as I told, he is ascetic life. He was living ascetic life, where he was sleeping on dusty city wall. Dusty city wall in the sense, he was slept on the ground on the floor. He slept. Simply he has slept. There is no blanket, no carpet, nothing he has took. Just he felt that the earth itself is a bed. So he was slept on the ground. Then lamps were all out, doors were all shut, and stars were all hidden by the murky sky of August. What does it mean? See, when he was slept, it was late night, where the lamps all out. Everybody slept, the light were off, doors were shut, everybody slept. As I told, the doors were closed in the sense, everybody homes were closed, and stars were all hidden. Stars were all hidden. Usually in the night, children, we can see the star, isn't it? Because only it is a clear night. Clear night in the sense, the sky should be clear, children. Then only we can see the star. That is the beauty, isn't it children? sleeping on a floor, open to a sky and counting the stars. It is something beautiful, isn't it? Where here a stars were all hidden. What does it symbolize? What does it symbolize, children? It symbolizes murky sky of August. Murky sky in the sense cloudy. Murky sky in the sense cloud, I can say, okay? Cloudy sky, which is a cloudy sky. In the cloudy sky, can you count the stars, isn't it? Can you? No, I think, right? So, it symbolizes, it means that when he was slept, it was almost cloud, night. Everybody slept. So, that moment, who will arise? See, whose feet were those tinkling with anklets? Those feet were tinkling with ankles. So, the night everybody slept, lots of patience and calmness. It was so quiet area where he was slept. Then that moment, the twinkling with anklet. Feet were those twinkling with anklet. What does it symbolize? That moment, a dancing girl will arise. How she will arise? She will, her feet which was making the noise of her anklet. Anklet in the sense, you know what is anklet is, isn't it? Gejje. So she comes with the anklet which was making a noise of twinkling. So the noise, how the noise was? Touching his breast of sudden. So as she was stepping on the floor, it was like stepping on his breast, in the sense, so loudly she was making a noise and she was appearing. That appearance, even she may be so far, but the steps shows that she was somewhere close to us. It was symbolized that, like that, she was keeping steps on that ascetic or that hermit chest of the body. So see the arrogance. Isn't it, children? That is a basic common sense that if somebody is sleeping or somebody is reading, we will have a mannerism that we should maintain the calmness. Isn't it? But that was already, I assume that she don't know that he is sleeping. But it was almost night. Isn't it, children? When city is calm, that then we have to maintain the calmness what was already there. But the appearance itself was a very noisy. He woke up startled, and the light from the woman lamp struck his forgiving eyes. That noise made him disturbed. So he woke up startled. That startled, it means surprised. He was surprised. Who was that? Who was that making noise? He was woke up with surprise. That light from a woman's lamp struck his forgiving eyes. How she was coming? She was coming along with that lamp. So when he was opened his eyes, that lady was along with the lamp. See there, the lamp struck his forgiving eyes. That word stuck in the sense affected. What does it mean? See, forgiving eyes in the sense, children, suppose forgiving eyes, it means assume that entire full day you are tired, right? And who will give forgiveness to your body? That is your eyes. Is it clear, children? You are fully tired, you have done so much of a work, and if you want also you cannot give rest to your body unless your eyes are closed. Isn't it, children? So they the poet. The poet of the poem was Rabindranath Tagore. So the Rabindranath Tagore here compare that he has used the word forgiving eyes. Forgiving eyes in the sense when the body was tired, the eyes wanted to forgive your body. So he has used the word forgiving eyes. The lights of a lamp stuck in the sense affected or disturbed the Upagupta, which was, see, I'll read that last poem para once again. Those feet were twinkling with anklets, touching his breast of sudden. He woke up startled, and the light from the woman's lamp struck his forgiving eyes. It was the dancing girl. Who was she? she was a dancing girl. Started with jewels in the sense how the appearance was. Her appearance was very graceful. She was wearing so much of a ornament which was shining. That ornament shining itself affecting the eyes of that Upagupta. See, it was a dancing girl, started with jewels, wearing a pale blue mantle. Wearing a wearing a pale blue mantle in the sense, pale blue it means light blue, mantle in the sense sleeves. She was wearing loose sleeves, wearing a loose sleeves dress, drunk with the wine of her beauty. Drunk with the wine of her youth. See, it is a metaphor, children, where her beauty was compared with the intoxication of a wine. So that much she was in a mood of her or pride of her youth. Youth in the sense beauty, okay? The metaphor there, the poet has been used that wearing a blue mantle, loose sleeves, how the attitude or the belief of that lady was drunk with the wine. Wine was equal to your beauty. Here the word wine was compared to a beauty, which was a metaphor where she was in a intoxication. If you consume a wine, it was intoxication, isn't it? So where her beauty made her mind full of proud. So there the comparison was given that wearing a pale blue mantle, drunk with the wine of her youth, she lowered her lamp and showed the young face. How she made the light of that lamp and she will bring to her face so closely and she exhibited her beauty in front of the Upagupta. Why she will hold the lamp so close to her face? To show that how much she was beautiful. She lowered the lamp and showed the young face, assuredly beautiful in the sense which was aesthetic beauty in the sense what you can say, like angel. The princess or the fairy tale you may heard, isn't it, children? Where one fairy will come with the wings with beautiful face. So here shortly in the sense the beauty of that dancing girl was compared to a beauty of angel, or which is a aesthetic beauty, or the which goddess's beauty where it was compared. Okay, I hope till now it is clear. Okay. Forgive me, young ascetic. She, by holding a lamp so close to her face, she says, "Forgive me, young ascetic," said the woman. "Graciously come to my house. The dusty earth, it is not fit bed for you." See, by holding a lamp close to her face, she says that, "Forgive me, young ascetic, and graciously come to my house." She invites him to her house. "Please come to my home." Why she invites you there? The dusty earth, what does it say? Dusty earth, it means it shows the proud of her wealth. Isn't it, children? See, she says that dusty earth, it means that where she want to exhibit what kind of how rich she was. So, graciously come to my house. The dusty earth is not fit bed for you. She says that this dusty earth, it means you are sleeping on empty floor, it is not fit for you. So she says that you come to my home where I can give you comfort sleep, luxurious sleep I can give you. It means that I can give you a comfortable bed, cot, where you can have a nice sleep. So she invites the Upagupta to come to her home. As he comes to home, he can see the richness of a dancing girl. She wants to exhibit her richness along with her beauty. So she invites Upagupta to her house. The young ascetic answered, "Woman, go on your way." So what he will do? He rejects the invitation of a dancing girl. So he says, you just go on your way. In the sense, you go and do your work or mind your work. He also replied that when the time is reached, I will come to you. He says that he rejects, it means that I am not telling that I won't come to your home. I will come to your home when time comes. See, when the time is reached, I will come to you. Suddenly black night showed his teeth. See here. Black night showed his teeth. See children, here where that asset, he will reject the invitation of that young girl or a dancing girl. He says that you go and mind your work, but remember that I will come to you or I will come to your home when times comes. Then suddenly the dark night showed his teeth in a flash of lightning. So see here, black night showed, dark night, it is the symbolize of, I told, cloudy. Isn't it children? Where showed his teeth means in the dark cloud where lightning pass. Lightning pass. Clear children? That means that in the dark cloud are rays or the lights of a lightning pass. Is it clear? So in the cloudy night when that lightning pass, lightning doesn't come alone, isn't it? It was accompanied by thunder also. So that moment when the conversation was going between Upagupta and dancing girl, suddenly lightning and thunder will occur. Suddenly the black night showed his teeth in a flash of lightning. So the storm growled from the corner of the sky. So storm in the sense, so where there is a deep air started to blow, it was symbolized of something danger, and the woman trembled in fear of some unknown danger. As when the storm started to blow, another side lightning and thunder occurs, she was started to fear in trembling. See here children, there is a comparison between the things. What are the comparison we have seen? One we have seen dark night, murky sky, isn't it? Murky sky one side, another side beautiful angle, with wealth. This dark night was side of another Upagupta side. You may assume the comparison I am telling you. Clear children? Here Upagupta, who was not scared of these things. Not scared of these things in the sense either it is a storm, flood or anything. He was not affected by either the thunder, flood or rain, or of the younger beauty and her wealth. Whereas this girl was scared of these lightning. It means that what comparison was given in the poem in the sense, we should not be proud of our wealth or the beauty, because whatever we have today, it may not be there or it may not be remain tomorrow. Isn't it children? You take up a wealth or a youth. Wealth or youth, it may disappear tomorrow or today itself it may disappear like a storm or a thunder or a lightning. So it is for a few minutes or a few days things which we have. Whereas the knowledge like Upagupta, what we assume, it will remain forever. Isn't it so? We should not feel so high of when we have a wealth or a beauty. At the same time, we should not feel so down when we don't have anything. So we should have a balanced life. Like unlike Vasavadatta, we should not feel proud of our wealth or a beauty, as she want to exhibit her beauty as well as her wealth. Isn't it, children? You may observe how she walked. When she walked, it was like stepping on his chest, Upagupta chest, breast, or else, and even she says that dusty earth in the sense where she wants to show that she has so much of a wealth, where she invite him to come and sleep in her house. It shows that how much comfort life she was living. That was the contrast. So here you remember that even that Upagupta told her that now I won't come to your house, but a time will reap in the sense definitely a time will come, then I will come to it. Means that something is there in the future which we may not predict. Isn't it, children? So that I told you we should be balanced of both happiness as well as a sadness, because if we are in a balanced manner, if we know to handle how to manage both happiness as well as the sadness, whatever may be the future, we are able to live or we are able to manage it. Isn't it, children? Suppose if we are so much of proud and happy of being in present, and one day tomorrow if we get sorrow in future, whether we will end up our days. Isn't it, children? Whether we will end up our life? No. That's why I am telling we should learn to balance our life both in happiness as well as a sadness. This is a story about that balance of a life, how to balance, where the Upagupta was a symbolizer of a balanced life, aesthetic life, enlightened soul, whereas she is a symbol of a proud. Isn't it, children? So the remaining part of the poem, children, I will do in the next class. In the next class we will see what he told and why he told that when the time will come I will meet you, or what is the symbolize of these black night showed his teeth, in the sense whatever we are day today, tomorrow our day may be a bad. Isn't it, children? So with the remaining part of the poem, children, I will do in the next class. Till then, children, see you in the next class.